Hello friends, happy Monday. I just dropped the kids off and we are back at home and ready to read. So we are going to get started. We're still in Joshua, which I've got to say I like Joshua way more than Numbers and Deuteronomy, so yay. And we are on chapter 12. So Jack is here with me today, back there wandering around. If you see him, I'll try to grab him, but he kind of does his own thing while we read. I always thought that he would sit next to me and put his big head in my lap and listen to me read to him. No. All right, so if you want to follow along, Joshua chapter 12, if you just want to listen to me read, as usual, go for it. I'm glad that you're here, and let's get started. These are the kings east of the Jordan River who had been killed and whose land was taken. Their territory extended from the Arnon Gorge to Mount Hermon and included all the land east of the Jordan Valley. King Sihon of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, was defeated. His kingdom included Aroer, on the edge of the Arnon Gorge, to the Jabbok River, which served as a boundary for the Ammonites. This territory included half of the present area of Gilead, which lies north of the Jabbok River. Sihon also controlled the Jordan Valley as far north as the western shores of the Sea of Galilee and as far south as the Dead Sea, from Beth Jehemishoth to the slopes of Pisgah. King Og of Bashan, the last of the Raphaites, lived in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He ruled a territory stretching from Mount Hermon to Salekah in the north, to all of Bashan in the east, and westward to the boundaries of the kingdoms of Geshur and Makkah. His kingdom included the northern half of Gilead, the other portion of which was in the territory of King Sihon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the Israelites destroyed the people of King Sihon and King Og, and Moses gave their land to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. The following is a list of the kings Joshua and the Israelite armies defeated on the west side of Jordan, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, which leads up to Seir. Joshua allotted this land to the tribes of Israel as their inheritance, including the hill country, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountain slopes, the Judean wilderness, and the Negev. People who lived in this region were the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the kings that Israel defeated: the king of Jericho, the king of Ai, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Deber, the king of Geder, the king of Homa, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tappuah, the king of Hefner, the king of Aphek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazor, the king of Shimron Miron, the king of Akshapeth, the king of Tanach, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jokneam, the king of Dor, I like that one, the king of Goyim, and the king of Tisra. All in all, 31 kings and their cities were destroyed. That's crazy. That was a lot to read, let alone conquer. Okay, chapter 13. When Joshua was an old man, the Lord said to him, "You are growing old, and much land remains to be conquered. People still need to occupy the land of the Philistines and the Geshurites, territory that belongs to the Canaanites. This land extends from the stream of Sihor, which is on the boundary of Egypt, northward to the boundary of Ekron, and includes the 5 Philistine cities of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron." I am a football player. My son's favorite is Aaron Rodgers. My favorite is Baker Mayfield. Anyway, okay. So, in the north, the area had allowed it to be conquered, and all the land of the Canaanites, including Merah, stretching northward to Aphek on the border of the Amorites, the land of the Gebalites, and all the Lebanon mountain area to the east, from Baal-Gad beneath Mount Hermon to Lebo-Hamath, and all the hill country from Lebanon to, wow, these are some weird names today, guys, Misrephoth-Maim, including all the land of the Sidonians. I will drive these people out of the land for the Israelites, so be sure to give this land to Israel as a special possession, just as I have commanded you. Include all the territory as Israel's inheritance when you divide the land among the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Half of the tribe of Manasseh and the tribes of Reuben and Gad had already received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan, for Moses, the servant of the Lord, had previously assigned this land to them. One more time. Their territory extended from Aroer to the edge of the Arnon Gorge, including the town in the middle, to the plain beyond Medeba as far as Dibon. It also included all the towns of King Sihon of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon and extended as far as the borders of Ammon. It included Gilead, the territory of the kingdoms of Geshur and Makkah, and all of Mount Hermon, all of Bashan as far as Salekah, and all the territory of King Og of Bashan, who had reigned in Ashtaroth and Edrei. King Og was the last of the Rephites, for Moses had attacked them and driven them out. But the Israelites failed to drive out the people of Geshur and Makkah, so they continue to live among the Israelites to this day. What are you chewing on, Jack? Look at that face that he just gave me. Can you see Jack? He's back there. This morning he did not listen to me at all, and he's been sulking ever since. We were leaving the house to take the kids to school, and he turned around and tried to bite me. He never tries to bite me. He was just, I don't know what he was doing. And I was like, no bite. And he is so sensitive that he has not, talked to me since. Yeah. What am I reading? I am reading the Bible. We're in the version of the book. Right now it sounds like a lot of strange nonsense because we're reading a lot of old names that are very hard to pronounce. But we are reading through it chronologically, so in the order that it happened, and we are in Joshua 13. Thanks for being here. Okay. A lot of this we've already lived through and read, but for some reason I feel like it was important to put it in again. I feel like it's kind of like my grandma when she's giving the kids money for Christmas. She says it out loud over and over and over again, then she writes it down, and then she reads what she wrote down and all this stuff to make sure that they get the right amount. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening right now. Make sure that they get their land. You don't want to mess it up. This is who gets what. Got it. That's how I'm when she's talking to me about it. I heard you. It wasn't that hard. I'm going to get struck by lightning. I swear. Okay. So Moses assigned the following area to the families of the tribe of Reuben. The territory extended from Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Gorge, including the town in the middle. Wait, I already read that. It's not that bad. Okay. So the land of Reuben also included the towns of the plain and the entire kingdom of Sihon. Sihon was the Amorite king who reigned in Heshbon and was killed by Moses, along with the chiefs of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, princes living in the region who were allied with Sihon. The Israelites also killed Balaam the magician, the son of Beor, and the Jordan River marked the western boundary for the tribe of Reuben. The towns and villages in this area were given as an inheritance to the families of the tribe of Reuben. Moses assigned the following area to the families of the tribe of Gad. Their territory included Jazer and all the town of Gilead and half the land of Ammon, as far as the town of Aroer just west of Rabbah. It extended from Heshbon to Ramath Mizpeh and Betonim, and from Menaheim to Lo Debar. In the valley were Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, Zaphon, and the rest of the kingdom of King Sihon of Heshbon. The Jordan River was the western border, extending as far north as the Sea of Galilee. The towns and villages in this area were given as an inheritance to the families of the tribe of Gad. Moses had assigned the following area to the families of the half-tribe of Manasseh. Their territory extended from Mahanaim, including all of Bashan and the former kingdom of King Og, and the 60 towns of Jair and Bashan. It also included half of Gilead and King Og's royal cities in Ashtaroth and Edrei. All was given to the descendants of Machir, who were Manasseh's sons. These are the allotments that Moses made while he was on the plains of Moab, across the Jordan River, east of Jericho. But Moses gave no land to the tribes of Levi, for the Lord the God of Israel had promised to be their inheritance. Oh my gosh. I've never read the Bible or gone to church. My parents grew up in a cult, so they don't want me to go. MILF Talk found me. Well, if you have never read the Bible and you want to, then you're in the right spot. Okay, so we are on chapter 14. The remaining tribes of Israel inherited land in Canaan as allotted by Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and their tribal leaders. These 9.5 tribes received their inheritance by means of sacred lots in accordance with the Lord's command through Moses. Moses had already given an inheritance of land to 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan River, and the tribe of Joseph had become 2 separate tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. And the Levites were given no land at all, only town to live in the surrounding pasture land for their flocks and herds. So the distribution of the land was in strict accordance with the Lord's instructions to Moses. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Funneh the Kennezite, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave from my heart a good report, but my brothers who went with me frightened the people and discouraged them from entering the promised land. For my part, I followed the Lord my God completely, so that day Moses promised me, the land of Canaan on which you were just walking will be your special possession, and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. Now, as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well, for he promised all these 45 years since Moses made his promise, even while Israel wandered in the wilderness. Today I am 85 years old, and I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey. I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So I'm asking you to give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You'll remember that as scouts we found the Anakites living there in great walled cities. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land, just as the Lord said." This 85-year-old man wants to fight. Okay. So Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave Hebron to him as an inheritance. Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, in the Kennezite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba, and it was named after Arba, a great hero of the Anakites. And the land had rest from war. I like that sentence. Okay, the last one that we're reading today is chapter 15, and it is about the land that was given to the tribe of Judah. The land assigned to the families of the tribe of Judah reached southward to the border of Edom, with the wilderness of Zin being the southernmost point. The southern boundary began at the south bay of the Dead Sea. It ran south of the Scorpion Pass into the wilderness of Zin and went south of Kesh Barnea to Hezron. Then it went up to Adar, where it turned toward Karka. From there it passed to Asmon until it finally reached the brook of Egypt, which it followed to the Mediterranean Sea. This was their southern boundary. The eastern boundary extended along the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Jordan River, and the northern boundary began at the bay where the Jordan River empties into the Dead Sea, crossed to Beth Hoglah, and then proceeded north to Beth Araba into the stone of Bohan. Bohan was Reuben's son. From that point it went through the valley of Achor to Debir, turning north toward Gilgal, which is across the slopes of Adumim on the south side of the valley. From there the border extended to the springs at En Shemesh and on to En Rogel. The boundary then passed through the valley of the son of Hinnom, along the southern slopes of the Jebusites, where the city of Jerusalem is located. Then it went west to the top of the mountain above the valley of Hinnom and up to the northern end of the valley of Rephaim. From there the border extended from the top of the mountains to the spring at the waters of Nephtoah, and from there to towns in Mount Ephron. Then it turned towards Baala, that is Kiriath Jearim. The border circled west to Baala to Mount Seir, passed along to the town of Kesalon and to the northern slope of Mount Jearim, and then went down to Beth Shemesh and on to Timnah. The boundary line proceeded towards the slope of the hill north of Ekron, where it turned towards Shikharon and Mount Bala. It passed Jabneel and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. The western boundary was the shoreline of the Mediterranean Sea, and these are the boundaries for the families of the tribe of Judah. The Lord instructed Joshua to assign some of Judah's territory to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So Caleb was given the city of Arba, that is Hebron, which had been named after Anak's ancestor. Caleb drove out the 3 Anakites, Sheshai, Ayaman, and Talmai, descendants of Anak. Then he fought against the people living in the town of Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, I will give my daughter Aksa in marriage to the one who attacks and captures Kiriath Sepher. Othniel, the son of Caleb's brother Kenaz, was the one who conquered it, so Aksa became Othniel's wife. When Aksa married Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for an additional field. As she got down off her donkey, Caleb asked her, What is it? What can I do for you? She said, Please give me a... No, she didn't say please. She just said, Give me a further blessing. You've been kind enough to give me land in the Negev. Please give me springs as well. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower spring. She didn't even say please. That's not very nice. This was the inheritance given to the families of the tribe of Judah. The town of Judah situated along the borders of Edom in the extreme south are Kabzeel, Eder, Jagar, Kina, Dimna, Ada, Kadesh, Hazar, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Baalath, Hazar, Hadah, Kirish, Harazon, Anam, Shema, Moladah, Hazar, Gadah, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar, Shual, Beersheba, Bezoiath, Bala, Eam, Azem, Elotad, Kisel, Horma, Ziklag, Madmana, Sana, Leboath, Shilim, Ain, and Rimmon. All in all, there were 29 of these towns with their surrounding villages. The following towns situated in the western foothills were also given to Judah: Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zoanah, En-Ganemim, Tapua, Anam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Sokoth, Azekah, Sherim, Adalithem, Gedera, and Gederothaim. All in all, there were 14 towns with their surrounding villages. I'm so sorry if anybody that is Jewish ever listens to me read this, and I'm completely butchering your language. I'm so sorry. Okay. Also included were Zenan, Hadagash, Migdalgad, Dilian, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Kabon, Lamem, Kitlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Nema, and Makkedah. 16 towns with their surrounding villages. Besides these, there were Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Ifta, Ashnev, Zebed, Kilia, Esgib, and Marishah, 9 towns with their surrounding villages. The territory of the tribe of Judah also included all the towns and villages of Ekron. From Ekron, the boundary extended west and included the towns near Ashdod and their surrounding villages. It also included Ashdod with its towns and villages, and Gaza with its towns and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Judah also received the following towns in the hill country: Shamir, Jatir, Soka, Dana, Kirath, Enab, Eshmath, Enim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo, 11 towns with their surrounding villages. Also included were Arab, Duma, Eshen, Janim, Beth, Tapua, Afika, Humta, Kereth Arba, and Zior, 9 towns with their surrounding villages. Besides these, there were Man, Carmel, Ziph, Jetta, Jezreel, Jorkadim, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 towns with their surrounding villages. In addition, there were Helnan, Bethzur, Gidon, Marath, Bethanon, and Ekton, 6 towns with their surrounding villages. There was also Karath Baal and Rabbah, 2 towns with their surrounding villages. And in the wilderness there were the towns of Beth Araba, Midin, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 towns with their surrounding villages. But the tribe of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites who lived in the city of Jerusalem, so the Jebusites live there among the people of Judah to this day. That is incredibly interesting to me. Why? Why could they not drive them out? God literally destroyed cities by having people walk around them in a circle. So why would the Jebusites not be driven out? If they weren't driven out, it's because God allowed them to not be driven out. So why? Why did he think that they deserved to live there? Or why did he show them grace to live there when every other town got killed? And not only killed, but burned and everything in it. But they could not drive out the Jebusites. If anybody has any insight on that, I would love to hear it, because I don't understand. Like God said, this is your promised land, all of it. So why not the Jebusites in Jerusalem? That is our question for today. I'm going to go try to find the answer, because I really don't get it. All right, guys, I hope that you have fantastic things planned for Monday. We have a lot of stuff to do in our house, so I am going to sign off since we're done. We're actually caught up, so that was a really fast reading for today, albeit a little bit painful. I really like it better when there's stories and things instead of just reading strange names. But thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. It's easier to do when you guys are here. So I hope that you have a fantastic Monday, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.